There's been loads of advances in cycling technology over the last few years, some good, some bad, and some definitely ugly. And I'm going to talk today a little bit about my favourite cycling tech trends over the last few years. So the first tech trend that I want to mention is crank length. And here's another bike fitter talking about crank length. We love crank length, but the trend in shortening crank length recently has helped many riders in terms of comfort and performance, and it's a really good thing that's happened over the last few years to enable people, not just pros but amateur riders as well, to ride with more comfort and more control. Because crank length has been such a hot topic over the last few years, there are lots of people now wanting to try shorter cranks, and obviously people who haven't been for bike fits or don't want to come for a bike fit first want to try out some different cranks. And how do they know what crank length to choose? Well, there's another bit of technology linked to this that's been really useful over the last few years, and that is adjustable cranks. Now these here are an adjustable crank. They can be set to 3 different positions within 5mm of each other. So you can try 3 different crank lengths without having to change the product and the crank that you're riding with. So you only have to buy 1 set of cranks and you can test 3 different positions to find out what suits you. So the way that these cranks can be adjustable is that the pedal inserts into a flip chip at the end of the crank, so it can be rotated to have a longer crank and a shorter crank within 5mm, and then they are also provided with another insert that gives you that middle crank length, so you can test all 3 versions. This is a great product for people who do want to test multiple different crank lengths, because the big barrier to people going to a shorter crank, I think, is the expense of buying a chain set or new crank set. And if we can have something that limits that expense to allow people to experience shorter cranks and experience the benefits that can be had out of shorter cranks for a lot of riders, then that's always a good thing in my books. What would be really great to see in future is to see stock bikes coming with adjustable cranks, or the likes of Shimano and SRAM making adjustable cranks so that they're more widely available. These cranks are actually very good value for money. But if we see more and more cranks coming with shorter options and adjustable options, then we'll see more and more riders be able to experience a shorter crank. The next tech trend that I want to talk about is all to do with wider tyres. Now, from a bike fit point of view, wide tyres are actually having a positive effect on bike fit, because a lot of discomfort can come from a tyre that is too narrow and run at too higher pressures. So if you can run a wider tyre at lower pressures, the chances are it's going to take out a lot of vibration from the road, and that can make your saddle a lot more comfortable. We've known for a while that wider tyres are more comfortable, but recent research over the last few years has consistently shown that actually wider tyres are even faster than those narrower tyres run at higher pressures. So now that we know that there isn't a speed or a performance penalty for having wider tyres, you can both be more comfortable and faster with wider tyres. So as a result of this, the demand for those wider tyres has shot up, and now bike manufacturers are starting to develop frames, even road frames, aero frames, racing bike frames with wider tyre clearance, up to 32, 35 even. So people can run those wider tyres for more comfort and for speed. It's also worth mentioning, of course, that the adoption of disc brakes has helped with this, because you don't have that rim brake caliper that normally sits over the wheel, which was often a block for having a wider tyre in those frames. So again, as a bike fitter, this is great because wider tyres are more comfortable, and it's often something that I'm talking about within bike fits as well. So the third tech trend that I want to talk about today is saddle pressure mapping. And not just saddle pressure mapping, because this technology has been around for quite a long time, but the accessibility of saddle pressure mapping to the average cyclist, if you like. It's not just reserved for the pros now. Anyone can go and book a bike fit or go and see a bike fitter with this technology and access it to be able to help them find a comfortable saddle. So as bike fitters, this is a massively important tool within our bike fits, or especially for people struggling with saddle comfort. It allows us to see the invisible pressure that we can't normally see within a bike fit, so that it helps us to understand what's going on with their position and with their pelvis, but also what's going on with that specific saddle in that specific riding position. And without this technology, we'd just be guessing at saddle choice as well. I could never confidently say to someone, you need this saddle, without this technology. It's just not possible. So this is an invaluable part of our bike fit process and our services here, but also it's an invaluable part for anyone struggling with saddle comfort and who hasn't found the right saddle for them. The way that we use this within a bike fit is also looking at how the riding position affects the saddle pressure, because not all saddle problems are coming from the saddle. You can be riding the perfect saddle for you in the wrong position, at the wrong saddle height, for example, and the saddle will feel terrible. And as soon as you fix those positional problems, you then have a comfy saddle. And again, without this technology, we wouldn't be able to see the effects on the saddle pressure by changing someone's saddle height, for example. So again, it's a really important tool for us to not go down changing someone's saddle when actually our bike fit, our positional changes has already given us the benefits from the saddle that we wanted. So there's 3 of my favorite tech trends in recent years, and let me know in the comments below, what do you think is your favorite tech trends over recent years? And maybe let me know what your least favorite tech trends are as well, because that would be interesting. And if you've enjoyed this content, don't forget to hit like and subscribe on this video. It helps us out massively. And if you do subscribe, I'll see you in the next video.